Alright, well, this is going to be the start of the next VOD. This is from a scrimmage from a few weeks ago, and the maps that we played were Lijiang, Volskaya, and Oasis, I believe. As you can see, we're not at the beginning of the scrim. We are actually towards the end slash middle, and that's because the first map was Lijiang, but I'm going to go over that in another video just because there's a lot that we have to dissect. But right here, we have Oasis, and since week 2 is going to be featuring Oasis as one of the maps, I felt that it would be most helpful to review this one first. Now, as many of you recall, this was the map where the start was very awkward. And that's because we had most of our team, we had our team split in half, where half were pushing through mid and half were pushing right side. Now, you probably won't hear it from this little frame because I just skipped over the part where I say it, but basically, I told PvP to play around small health packs because he's playing Tracer on this map, and this map is pretty much littered with small health packs in the best of places, i.e. far left and far right side. So, let's go ahead and start. This video starts with me viewing the team as a whole and how we engage in team fights, and then it's slowly going to transition into me just spectating PvP, and the next round I will be solo spectating Cameron. So other than that, excuse me, not Cameron, Ben. The next map is Cameron. So other than that, let's get started and let's start dissecting this video. And just as a reminder, if there's anything I can do to improve this video, whether it be audio, whether it be my mic, whether it be anything, please let me know. I actually just bought a blue snowball, and that's what I'm using right now. So if you hear that the audio sounds different in any way, well, it's because I'm using this one. I've been testing it out and seeing like how good it sounds video-wise, and I don't really like it because it sounds muffled for some reason. I feel as though my headset mic that I was using before for the first VOD, it was a lot better than this one. So let me know so I can go return it and maybe buy like a more professional one. Maybe like an overhead stand mic. This one's sort of just like a little stand and a little ball on top of it. I'll send the picture in the group chat. Other than that, let's get started. So right here, we can start off by seeing the engagement where Mei doesn't completely wall off both tanks, but they're pretty vulnerable. I mean, look at Moira, look at Lucio. They're they're on the other side of the wall, and they can't really get much use of it. And then look what we have Zarya doing. Friendly bubble down. Her personal bubble down. And let's see who goes to help out. Truth, Cam, and Ben. Only 3 that are looking at this engagement right here in mid. And where's Rugby, Sheena, and PvP? They're all far right. Now this goes a little bit to the awareness of a team engagement. Rugby, if you see that there's not anyone in front of you or not the main tank in front of you, then there's something wrong, and that means that you have to find him. This right here, once you notice that the main tank isn't where you thought he was supposed to be, well then, if you don't know where he is, best bet that you'd be safest directly on point with the rest of your team. The 3 of you, like, and I like going through this doorway. I'm not saying that this is a bad move. I'm just saying that since you didn't see the main tank, then that means you should probably push back. Like, you shouldn't even try like wrapping around the side right here to get any sort of like flank or engagement or anything, because then, you know, what are you going to do if you flank around? You're going to give them the point and you're going to try to take it as if you're coming onto the point like this. Taking this point is hard enough, and if you think you're going to win the first engagement like that, then, you know, it's just not going to happen. But that's enough of me rambling on about this. I mean, we already know that the team should have been through mid. Rugby, just be aware that if you don't see your counterpart, well, then you have to go find them. It shouldn't take the Reinhardt pinning in for you to say, okay, well, let me turn around, let me go attack, let me go do something about this, what's happening right here. But also you too, Cam, you need to be able to realize that you need to stick with the team. And this right here, I call it the hungry hippo eyes. Hungry hippo eyes, excuse me. Because you see that there's 2 tanks right here. Let me back it up a little bit. So you're going to, oops, backed it up too far.
Play small health packs.
That's me telling PvP to play small health packs. So here's the engagement, here it is, here it goes, da da da, team's walking up, far right side. And then PvP, you notice, actually PvP, you engage with the tanks through mid. And that's the reason why they actually go through mid, because they're chasing after you. And you get, you know, maybe half health or something. Actually, you didn't even take any damage, you probably take like 2 points of damage. Then it's up to you to relay that the 2 tanks are in mid. Rugby, right now, you see that there's what, like 1 DPS and the 2 healers are roaming around this way. You should at least be able to see that. Then you gotta say to yourself, like, okay, well, they're going through mid, I'm not gonna get any value coming through here. In PvP, you have to relay that information. And then look what happens. Look what that does to your team. Cam tries to engage with the tanks right here, and then the rest of the team won't be able to follow up. Hungry hippo eyes. You see the 2 tanks, you wall them off. Healers on the other side. Say to yourself, kill, kill, kill. But then your team isn't able to follow up. Actually, Truth gets the brunt of the damage. If it wasn't for that terrible pin inside of that room right there, then, you know, who knows how that engagement could have gone. Maybe Truth gets demeched, maybe this happens to Truth, what, this and that and whatnot. So right now it's an even fight. PvP gets another pick. Rugby's on point, no problem with that. And then the kills start coming through. I'm not sure how we lose this engagement, but we do end up doing it. Actually, McCree, I don't know if you saw that right there, but McCree is actually taking a flank around the side like that. So around small health pack. Let's start it up. So we end up winning the fight, but McCree obviously flanks around and kills us. Truth, you get off point, and then you sort of like sidestep laterally, trying to get onto point, but then you take a step back as if you were unsure, and you pretty much feed yourself to the enemy team. Your diva, if you know you're gonna just lose the point, you know, and there's no way for you to get out, just stay on point. Just stay on point. No brainer. Here we have an engagement. Genji pushes up way too far and he gets punished. Great job. Unfortunate Maywall, you couldn't block him off completely, but hey. Virtues, you start popping off. Great job. You stick the pulse bomb onto Reinhardt, and then you try to get really aggressive to finish off Rein, which I love. I mean, that's really good engagement right there. And now, here's a play that we need to... Well, here's a play that I like. I like this play for the very reason that Sheena is aware that Reinhardt is 1 HP, and she uses her Valkyrie not because she wants to be DPS Mercy, although that is what she does in a second. Not because she wants to be DPS Mercy, but because she's aware that the Reinhardt is 1 HP, and that this Lucio isn't going to be able to do shit to heal him. Sheena finishes him off. Lucio burns his ult because, you know, he tries to save the Reinhardt. Rugby, you pin in early. Pin in very early, very aggressively. Like, look, there you are, going right past your team. And that sets up this Reinhardt. Right here to earth shatter the team. Now, in most cases, if Sheena doesn't Valk and our team does what it's supposed to do and we all push through mid, this is a giant shatter. But luckily enough, we have a Tracer that's flanking, going this way, and Cam seems to be following right behind him. Cam, you need to be on point with these tanks. Don't worry about Tracer. Let her do her own thing. Sheena, good awareness. Apollo, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Rugby, can't let this happen right here. That pin, there wasn't. I mean, I might have missed something, but there wasn't even anybody in your sight line that you could have pinned. So be aware. Okay, Shatter comes through. Sheena gets a kill. You know, that wall, not too valuable. It's a large use of ults. Truth, you could have just waited for, you could have just been demeched and waited for you to get, you know, enough ult charge to get back into mech. Questionable ult choice. Once again, maybe you just didn't know, maybe you just weren't aware. But in any case, your team was up by 2-3 people already. This Reinhardt was dead. Zarya was dead. Moira wasn't there. Lucio just died. Alright, let's continue. So we cap point again after the Lucios, you know, pop off, which is good. And I believe now I switch over to PvP, first person point of view. Beach, you overall have pretty good positioning. You've been playing in the backline a lot, and you're forcing people like Genji and McCree to try to get better angles on you, better sight lines. Genji's putting a little bit of pressure on you, but it hasn't been too bad. You've only died like what, once or twice, so. Okay, this engagement right here. So you understand that the team fight was just won by you guys. So the enemy team is now coming out of their spawn. Every single one of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not 6, that's like 7. Anyway, you know that they're all coming out of their spawn right here. And knowing that, you should say to yourself as Tracer, okay, well, let me get deep into their backline. I know they're all going to come through mid because why the hell would they go anywhere? Why the hell would they go anywhere else? I know they're all going to come through mid. How about I take one of these walls? How about I hide behind one of these bookshelves or around the far right or far left side and wait for them to come down mid and then just crouch spam and walk up to one of the healers and just beat the shit out of them. I mean, yeah, there's a Brigitte. But that shouldn't be enough to deter you from trying to get a good flank onto a healer. And if you know that the second a Brigitte sees you, that they're going to try to combo you and try to kill you, dash away. It's as simple as that. And it's as easy as just being aware of what the healers are doing. Since the team fight just started, you really have... Wait, is that even a Brigitte? I might be high. No Brigitte. Okay. Well, if there was a Brigitte, well, all you have to do is as simple as saying, well, they just came out of spawn, they have all their cooldowns. As soon as that Brigitte turns around to see me, I know what's going to happen, so let me just dash away. Or I can even recall if it's really needed. But this area right here, I mean, you're right next to point, and you're shooting from about 20-30 meters away. You're not getting any damage off, and you're also not putting enough pressure on the backline of the enemy team. This right here is basically a 5v6 because you're taking yourself out of the team fight. Tracer gets her most value is when she's being very aggressive in the backline. And then right here you seem a bit unsure, you keep going left or you keep going right and you come back here, back to the small health pack. Use your recall early. Right here it looks like you're thinking about using your pulse bomb, but you inevitably decide not to. Possibly because you think that the Zarya has her shield and you don't want to use it too early. You have Ryan, who's not going to really die if anything happens to him, unless you relay to Rugby, hey, I'm gonna pulse bomb this Ryan. You should probably use your combo to go ahead and finish him off, or relay that to the team. But then again, you don't know if Zarya has bubble. So it's kind of funny how you take this engagement, because you basically started off at small health pack. So you basically started off right here. You come over here, then you come back, and then you use your ability, you recall, and then you come back around again. Oh shit, my laptop's about to die. One sec. sorry about that. I'll let you know in the group chat to skip like 30 seconds ahead. But anyway, so you use your recall, and then you come back to the same spot. And then, let me just press play. Come back to the same spot. You dash past McCree. And then you go around the enemy backside, and you see the entire team. You just see Zarya use her bubble right here, so you know she doesn't have it. Potential stick. Lucio's right here, potential stick, but I know he's really squirmy, so it's kind of hard to, you know, get it onto him. And then you have Moira right here that can fade out. So really, I can understand why you didn't use your pulse bomb, unless you wanted to get Zarya, or unless you knew that her friendly bubble was down, and you could stick it onto Ryan, and then, you know, relay to Rugby. Hey, he's low, go finish him off. But you really didn't get any value from this flank right here, because you didn't get a single kill, and you barely got any damage off to any opposing enemy. You're better than this PvP. You pop off on Tracer. This right here should have at least been one kill, and it should have been a one team fight. Now it still is a one team fight, but it dragged out a lot longer than it had to be, and you almost died. So you basically make a big circle around back onto point, and you get to see the Genji jump onto Zenyatta, which is actually pretty nice because, you know, perfect peel potential for your Zenyatta, although he does pop his Transcendence, and you end up getting the kill onto Genji. So the team fight starts, you go around right side again, and you are met by this handsome mustachioed man right here. This is a perfect freeze frame, by the way. But you have your pulse bomb, and you're going to use it, and you're going to kill him. Boom. Great reaction time, great stick, great kill. You miss small health pack, which is unfortunate. But you make up for it by, when you get onto point again, you almost one-clip the Moira. Which is a pretty hard feat considering Moira is such a tiny hitbox. Here you are, taking another engagement. Now this is something that I wish you would have done, like I was mentioning earlier, where you see that the enemy team is all coming out of spawn, and look at, you're getting aggressive right through here. Now this is good, but it's not perfect. Or, I mean, this is okay, but it's not good. It's okay because you're getting some damage off and you're making yourself be known to the enemy team so that they can, you know, put a little focus fire on you instead of the tanks. But there's also this whole area right here that's completely free for you to go to. Completely free. Let's start. Can I? No, I can't. Okay. So right here, think about the amount of value you're getting in this next 30 seconds of play. So you back off because you see a Hanzo and you don't want to get headshot. But I can even hear that Hanzo just used the Sonic Arrow. And now he just uses Storm Arrow. So this to you should be an indicator that Hanzo has no cooldowns, and the only person that you should really be worried about is the McCree. So if you see the McCree, back away from him. You see that Hanzo? Fuck him up. You go around for a flank on the right side. Once again, you're not getting into anybody's face. Nobody's even looking at you. If they're not looking at you, then that's pretty much free for you to do whatever you want. Get aggressive on there. You play with the team, and you set yourself up to be killed in two different ways. One by the Earth Shatter right here, and one by 12 o'clock right here. Once again, as a tracer, you have this whole side that you can go around, and you have this whole side that you can go around and get some usefulness, get some pressure onto this guy, and these two healers. I can't see Lucio, but you get the gist. That shatter hits you, you would be dead. Get the clip onto Reinhardt. Get the stick onto Hanzo. Great play. That secures you the team fight. Hanzo gets no chance to use his ult, which he was about to have. Great job.
Anthony, those are some pretty nice sticks.
Yeah, there you go. Pretty nice sticks.
Those are some pretty nice sticks on those enemy DPS. Yeah, you did it. Good job.
Okay, and here we switch to Ben. Ben, I think this was like one of your best performances I've ever seen. Maybe you do this every single round, but I don't really get to spectate you, so this is really pleasurable for me to see. Okay, so let's see how this engagement starts off. So it starts off with you trying to take a 1v1 with Hanzo. So you're playing in the correct area, which I have no problem with. This area is perfect. It gives you a lot of space to use your Harmony, use your Discord. No big deal. But then you see this Japanese dude to your left, and you're like, man, I can kill this guy. I'm gonna kill him. But instead of trying to get behind this wall at 60 HP, you decide to strafe and you get yourself killed. And then subsequently, he kills the rest of your team. So either there was some miscommunication where you relayed in the end and your team didn't follow up on the Hanzo that was flanking, or you just didn't relay that information because he ends up killing the entire team. Either way, don't take that engagement with Hanzo. Just get around this wall, get somebody to peel for you, and just forget about it. So now you know the enemy team comp. You know that it's Brigitte, Zarya, Reinhardt, Hanzo, McCree. And I made a note of this as I was watching through the scrim again, and you actually end up doing it. Like, I didn't know you were going to do what you're about to do, but you ended up doing it, and I was really happy to see that. It shows me that you're actually paying attention to where you are in relation to your team and the enemy team. So you get some discords off, you Harmony your Genji that's blading, perfect. You're discording every person that Genji is slashing. Such a great engagement. That was such a great use of your abilities, your Discord, your Harmony. You were really focused throughout the entire fight. Good job. And then this right here was a note that I made. So after that engagement, I didn't know what you were going to do, so I made a note in my journal. I said, go get high ground now that team fight is over. And then look what you did. You got the fucking high ground. That's great. Nah, I love seeing this. So now you're in a perfect position to not care about the Hanzo, to not care about the McCree, and you have perfect potential for peel because you can drop down, you have a bunch of corners that you can play, and you have a bunch of angles that you can use Discord and then you can use Harmony with. So right here you get a little bored, you're like, oh man, I want to be part of this team fight, I want to be part of the rape that's happening in front of me, so I'm going to join in. I'm trying to get some sick snipes. I have no problem with that. And then you back up when you start getting shot at. And then you take the far left positioning. This is great gameplay by you. I mean, I'm watching Jonak right now. Look at that. Look, you have a Mercy damage boosting you. That's how you know that there's a lot of big dick energy coming out of you. So you're probably saying to yourself right now, you're like, damn, they pop Moira ult, my team is low, and I know for a fact that this Reinhardt has Shatter. What do I do? Well, you stick to exactly what you have been doing the entire round, and you play as far back as you can until all the enemies' ults come out. Now Rugby, he blocks a shatter, so you really didn't have to pay too much attention to it. But maybe you could have used your Transcendence right there once you saw that your teammates were getting low, especially your Mercy. And yeah, so you see that you're down one teammate. You guys can realistically take this engagement because Rugby, with Transcendence up, oh well, he's gonna block this Earth Shatter that's coming right to him. So he's gonna block this. So you guys have nothing to worry about considering that enemy Reinhardt. So Shatter's down. Moira ult down. So that's 1, and that's 2 ults down. Shatter's blocked. Apollo's low. Rugby gets low. You should use your Transcendence right here. You're down one person, yes, but the enemy team just used 2 ults. If you use Transcendence, I guarantee you're going to get that Zarya ult, and then you're going to get that Hanzo ult down. So picture this. One team fight, and you get 1, 2, 3, 4 ults. 4 ults out of the way. Maybe even pop Brigitte ult. 5 ults, because you transcended. Maybe you get 6 ults. Down one player, 1 Transcendence, one of the best defensive ults in the game. Potential, 6 ults down. When you try to re-engage and take the point again, look what you're going to have. Pulse Bomb, Diva Bomb, Blade, Falc, Shatter. 5 ults versus 0 ults. You have a much better team, much more coordinated team than these guys, who are supposedly like low GM, high Masters players. This right here, this is all you. Next time, take that engagement. You being the Zenyatta and you popping off the way that you're popping off, you have major shot calling potential right here. And you can tell the team, nah, we're going to get aggressive, we're going to take this fight. Because the potential that you can get out of it is much greater than you just taking the loss for right here. Be aware, you as Zenyatta especially have to be aware of enemy DPS ults. And if there's a Hanzo on the enemy team, you can almost guarantee that Zarya and Hanzo are going to be comboing. Like, it's almost like, I don't have a good like analogy for it right now, but you know it's going to happen. Our team does a good job of contesting though. We get it up to 99. So look, team fight is just before the team fight, and you have 4 ults that are ready to be used. Now, because you did save your ult, then that means you do have really good potential to re-engage and take the point again. So all in all, it wasn't really like super duper important that you needed to use Transcendence there to save like the engagement, but you know, you could have. And then this right here, the team has to be aware that this Reinhardt has been swinging into a grab that had 5 people in it. Like, you know for certain he's gonna have his Earth Shatter after this. And that's exactly what he does. And I think they get the team kill. Oh no, this is where Cam pops off and he gets all the kills. But look at you. You're taking this angle again, this fucking fabulous angle, and you're getting all the discords and the harmony orbs that you need. And you go and cap point. Like, the enemy team realistically hasn't been able to do shit to you this entire game. And you've just been popping off the entire time. This is beautiful. Like, look. Who realistically has touched you in these past like 10 minutes of commentary? I think like 1 person. This is a great game by you, and I'm hoping that I can see more of this. If there's anything, if you ever have any doubt in your mind about whether you're doing the right thing, just remember your 3 techniques. It's positioning, it's calling out your discords, and it's tracking enemy DPS ults. And if there's a Zarya on the other team, that's you too. You did a great job this match, and hope to see more of it.
Hey, so
Oh yeah, let's hear this
Beach,
commentary.
I'm gonna have a really nice clip for you at the end there. I think you already know what it is. Yeah.
The play of the game
It's a
should have
great,
been you,
it's a great
realistically.
game, but,